Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the Demolition League. It's been a few days since I've gotten back to the Demolition League, so it's time to get back to it. As I did the pre-play the other day for the 2025 ALCS, so now back to the regiment of the 1987 AL replay in the morning and the Demolition League replay at night. Starting pitchers for Pittsburgh, Martin Perez, a left-hander. And starting pitchers for San Diego, Matt Waldron, a right-hander. Perez will eventually get traded to San Diego, so he's pitching against a team that he will eventually join. So coming to this game, San Diego is 5-2. Pittsburgh is 2-5. Got the game up on the Strat computer. And I've already put in the lineups on the San Diego side. Now I need to put the lineups in on the Pittsburgh side. So I'll do that real quick. It won't take long. It's got to take the guys from the computer and put them in the way I've got it on the score sheet so that everything matches. And we'll make sure we got everybody where they need to be. Where are you, Rowdy Telez? There you are. All right, so I got Telez hitting cleanup, Key Brian Hayes hitting third. One thing that's interesting about the 2024 Pittsburgh Pirates, their two closers are the actual two closers that were in the Boston Yankee series. Bednar for the Yankees and Chapman for the Red Sox are both, or were both, on the Pittsburgh roster. Chapman with Pittsburgh and Bednar with Pittsburgh. They are the closers in the 25 series that's going on right now between the Red Sox and Yankees. So kind of interesting there. Of course, Chapman got traded, I believe, to Houston or somebody late in the season. But I just thought it was interesting when I was pulling out their bullpen guys that they had that distinction. Hello, Chuck. Good to see you. I know. Looking at Game 3 for Tigers and Cleveland as well. So if the Reds defeat the Dodgers tonight, then all four series will go 3 games, which would be interesting. But I kind of feel like the Dodgers will probably end up sweeping that in 2 games. I mean, Yamamoto, I think, is pitching today, and he can be tough to beat. But, that's why you play the games. All right, so we are about ready to get going. I've got the computer lineup all set now, and it matches what I need to have it matched. And we can get this game going. Oh, Reds are up 2-0, bottom of the first. Okay, cool. All right, so Martin Perez, I didn't write this in, but he lost his only other start in this Demolition League. So he's 0-1. Pitched fairly well. Well, not really, as I look at it. I was looking at the strikeouts and walks, but in 6 innings, his ERA is 6. So not too good there. All right. So Perez will be facing Xander Bogaerts of the Padres. And in PNC Park, singles are 1-16, lefties 1-13, righties home runs 1-8 and 1-5. And Bogaerts will lead off. He's very much a struggling player. On the replays, only hitting 161. He hit 264 real world, but I mean, it's early. 31 at bats. No homers, 2 driven in. And we're underway here from Pittsburgh. 1-8, and that's a ground ball to short against the left-handed pitcher. And Bogaerts' troubles continue. 1 down, that brings up Jurickson Profar, left fielder, switch hitter. Profar is struggling as well. He's only hitting $136 and 22 at bats. No homers or runs driven in. 6-8, he's a switch hitter batting right-handed. That's a ground ball to short again. So Neil Cruz has handled 2 chances flawlessly. And we will go to Fernando Tatis. Tatis hitting .348 on the replay, 2 homers, 6 driven in. He hit .257 he hit 276 real world. It's a 1-4, and it's a ground ball to second. So 3 easy ground outs for Martin Perez, and he makes short work of the Padres here in the first. We will go to the bottom of the first, and Matt Waldron, 7-11, 4.91 ERA. Never heard of him. I don't think I've ever seen him pitch. The card says he's right-handed, but that's about as far as I can tell you about him for Matt Waldron. So should be interesting. That's why I'm trying to learn all the new players. All right, Waldron, this will be his first start of the Demolition League. Like I said, in the real season, he was 7-11 with a 4.91 earned run average in, I believe, 26 starts. Yes. Okay, so O'Neal Cruz will lead off for Pittsburgh. He's hitting 464 on the replays. Definitely the league's leading hitter so far. In 28 at bats, he's got 6 doubles, 2 homers, and 3 runs driven in. So he's doing very, very well for himself. 2-7, but this time he grounds it to second, and that'll be handled by Bogarts, 1 away. Tomorrow morning, back to the 87 replay, will be on the left coast. It'll be the Yankees and the Angels from Anaheim. Tommy John against Jack Lazorko is the matchup in that one. All right, here's Andrew McCutchen, the designated hitter. He's hitting 211 on the replay, no homers and a run driven in. He hit 232 real world. 1-7, and he will get a 1-5 single, but that's a 19, so he lines it to third, right to Machado, and quickly 2 away. So 2 down. And here's Brian Reynolds. Reynolds on the replay hitting 241, a homer and 6 driven in. Real world, he hit 275. 1-5 is a 1-2 triple. Anything else will be a double. So a 2-out double for Ryan Reynolds. And that'll bring up Rowdy Tellez in a clutch situation. Tellez hit 243 real world. On the replays, hitting 188 and 16 at bats. No homers or run driven in. In the clutch for Rowdy, he will gain a hit on 1-5 and 1-7. But it's a 4-5, not a 1-5. And 4-5 is a fly ball to right field, and that's going to do it. And the Pirates leave the runner on second base. At the end of 1, we got no score from PNC Park. So we go to the second inning. Leading off for the Padres will be Manny Machado at third base. Machado, 357 average, 3 homers, 9 driven in. On the replay, 6-6, and that's a strikeout. 1 away. I'll ask you two guys, since you were in the chat, I think you're still in the chat, Chuck and Tim. For next year's Demolition League, I'm taking maybe just an informal poll. Do you think I should pick the 10 teams? Do you think I should put it up for vote? Or do you think I should have a random draw and let the chips fall where they may? I'd be curious about that. I just want to get some feedback from random folks that might have an opinion. All right, Solano hitting 400. He's 2 for 5 with a homer and 2 driven in. Random draw. Hey, Larry, good to see you. Random draw. Okay. 5-2, and that is a ground ball third base. That's 2 away. The only thing bad about a random draw that could happen is you could get like 3 teams from one division or something. And if that's not a big deal, then certainly could do it, I guess. All right, here is Martin Perez. One team I would like to have, though, in the Demolition League, there's at least one team I can think of that has never been in the Demolition League, and that's the Anaheim Angels. I know they have never. I've done 2 Demolition Leagues now. They've never been in either one of them. I don't think Texas has either. So there's several teams that have not been in either league. Like I said, 10. So there's 10 teams that haven't been in either league. So. Trout on the channel. Okay. All right. Here is Jake Cronenworth. He is hitting 217, a homer and 2 driven in on the replay. Is Trout? I thought he was like a part-time player now, or maybe he was injured or something, or was he a full go this year for the Angels? 2-6 for Cronenworth, lefty is a fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. So Martin Perez, 2 shutout innings. The good thing about the 2025 version is I will have time all off season to go back and watch, not only this postseason, but go back and watch some old regular season games of all the teams and try to get familiar with the players. I'm coming in kind of blind on this one, so. And plus I'd have more time, won't feel as rushed, so I have more time to really dig down and set things up. And I'll have the Strat computer with the 2025 season on it. So I'll have the extra players right at my disposal if I need more players. So all that, much like the 2015 version, should be better than this version. All right, here's Ke'Bryan Hayes. He's hitting 316 on the replay. No homers, 3 driven in. 211, and that's a ballpark single check. It's 1-13, but that's an 18. So he will line it to short for Kim, and that's 1 away. I guess the important part just to have fun. It really doesn't, I guess in the long run, doesn't really matter who's there as long as we're playing the game and enjoying fun and having fun. 2-4. 2-4. Oh, look at this. Nick Gonzalez has come through with a home run. 2-4 straight up. No adjustments needed right here. Nick Gonzalez, his second home run of the season. He's had 2 hits on the season. He's now 2 for 12. Both hits have been home runs. That's also his 4th run batted in. His first homer was a 3-run homer. Now it's a solo shot for Nick Gonzalez. Home run for Gonzalez. His second of the replay. RBI number 4. And the Pirates lead it 1-0. Here's Joey Bart. Bart is hitting 200. He's 3 out of 15 with a homer. It's a 210, and that's a walk. First base on ball is issued by Waldron. Bart, no threat to run. And here comes Connor Joe. He is in right field for this game. Connor Joe hitting 056 in 18 at-bats. He's really struggling. He hit 228 real world. 3-9, and that's a ground ball to short. That'll be a 6-4-3 double play, and his struggles continue. But the Pirates do get the run from Gonzalez, and at the end of 2, it's 1-0 Pirates. And they need it. They're down. They're 2-5 and already 3 games behind San Diego. They'd hate to fall 4 games back, even though it's early. You still don't want to be digging a hole but so deep, and they're not the best team in the world anyway unless Paul Skeens pitches. So they're going to have trouble if they fall behind. All right, so Jackson Merrill will lead off for the Padres. Merrill hitting 217 on the replay. No homers or runs driven in. 310, and that's a ballpark single check. It's a 1-16, but that's a 20. Boy, bad break there. So he will line it to third, where it is snagged over there by Ke'Bryan Hayes, and that's 1 away. Here's Luis Campusano. Campusano hitting 200. He's 2 out of 10. No homers or runs driven in. 4-6 right-handed. That's a strikeout for Martin Perez, his second. And that'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Ha-Seong Kim. Kim is hitting 174 on the replay. That's why I dropped him to the 9 spot. No homers, 4 driven in. It's 2-4, and that's a ballpark single check again. 1-13, and that is a 13. So he catches a break there and gets the first base hit for the Padres. And Kim will be looking to run. Martin Perez does have a -2 hold when you combine him with Joey Bart. But still, that's a pretty good chance for Kim to go 2 through 5 or a 12. He does not get the lead, so it's not going to matter. Here's Xander Bogaerts. Bogaerts grounded to short his first time up. 4-8, right-handed, struck him out. Third strikeout for Perez. And that's going to end the inning. My pen must have been running out of ink or low on ink or something when I was typing it or writing it in Pittsburgh. I don't know why it's so light there. Whatever. We got it fixed. So we go to the bottom of the third. 1-0 favor of Pittsburgh. Due up, number 9 man Jack Zawinski. He is hitting 188 on the replay in 16 at bats with a homer and 2 driven in. He hit 182 real world, so he's about right on target. That's a 6-8 left-handed, struck him out. First strikeout for Waldron. And 6-12 is the injury chance for both starting pitchers. So if we roll a 6-12 for either one of these starters, we will be checking the injury factor. Here's O'Neal Cruz. It's a 2-5 for O'Neal Cruz, and he's going to draw a base on balls. And that'll be the second walk issued by Waldron. And Cruz needs a 7 to get the lead. Waldron is a +3 pitcher-catcher quotient with Campusano. Needs a 7, doesn't get it, so he'll hold. And with 1 out, that'll bring up the veteran Andrew McCutcheon, designated hitter. He lined to Machado his first time up. And we'll see what he can do. That's a 2-10, and that's going to be a strikeout. Second strikeout for Waldron. 2 down, and that sends up Brian Reynolds. He doubled his first time up. That's a 2-12, and that's a ground ball to first, and that's going to do it as Cronenworth will take it to the bag himself, and that's going to take care of Pittsburgh. At the end of 3, it's still 1-0 Bucks. And Perez will come back out. But Perez has a fatigue factor of the 5th inning, so I'll allow him to at least go 6 if he's effective. Maybe 7, depending on how he does. I'm going to try to stay realistic to the modern game. All right. Here is Jurickson Profar. 1-7 against the lefty. All these hits in column 1, and he found the one of the ones he had no chance to pop out to short. So that's 1 away. For Fernando Tatis. 1-6 for Tatis. He struck him out. Strikeout number 4 for Martin Perez. And that brings up Machado. A 2-8, and that is a strikeout. Strikeout number 5. So that ends the inning. Perez just rolling along, pitching a shutout through 4. And now Rowdy Tellez is up to lead off the 4th for Pittsburgh. He flew to right his first chance up. That's a 3-8, and that's a base hit for Rowdy Tellez. He, of course, does not run well. He will not be held. And here is Key Brian Hayes. 1-8, and that's going to be a ground ball third base. It's a 5-4-3 double play. And you say, well, how come he didn't bunt? How come he didn't hit and run? Well, his bunt rating's a D and the hit and run's a C. And if you miss the hit and run, you got Rowdy Tellez trying to steal. Not very good. So really don't have a whole lot of options there. You kind of have to just let the players, the game kind of play out in this modern game. If you miss it the other day, I believe it was in the trying to remember which game it was in. I think it was the Boston game the other day that I did in the morning, the 87 replay, where I actually did a hit and run. First hit and run I've ever done in Strat that I can think of, because I just don't like to hit and run. But it's 5. Gonzalez, a right-hander, is a fly ball center field X. That is Merrill. He's a 2E3. 2 and 11, he'll get to it. E3 and an 8 shouldn't be a problem, and it is not. So Merrill makes the catch, and that's going to do it for the Pirates. The double play kind of took all the starch out of that one. Go the 5th. Still 1-0 Pittsburgh. The home run from Gonzalez is held up. And this is the fatigue inning for Perez, so we'll keep an eye on him. Donovan Solano, the designated hitter, will be up. 3-7, and that's a base hit. He's in there against the lefty because he hits lefties well. In fact, I don't have the numbers in front of me on the to see how he did, but he had 38% of his at-bats against left-handers, and his card pretty decent against lefties. So base hit for Solano. He is no threat to run. Cronenworth, the C bunter, but I'm just, unless it's an obvious bunt situation, I'm not going to search for him. All right, so Solano, the single, and Cronenworth is up. 2-8, and that's a ground ball shortstop A. It's another 6-4-3 double play. Just like that, 2 quick outs. But I hate to try anything with these such poor ratings for these players on their hit and run and stuff like that. So just going to have to play it out. Here's Jackson Merrill. 6'2", lefty on lefty. He's a fly ball right field X. That is Connor Joe. He's a 3E12. Connor Joe, 3E12. 3-14, he'll get to that. E12 and an 8. There is no 8. The 3 and the 14 is an F2. Nobody's on base, doesn't matter anyway. It's a fly to right, and that's going to do it. So Martin Perez will definitely pitch into the 6th inning as he keeps a 1-0 lead. Matt Waldron has a fatigue of 6, so he's definitely good to go for a couple more innings. You're facing Joey Bart, Connor Joe, and Jack Zawinski. 6-6, and Bart a righty. 6-6 is a 1-2 triple. That's a 3. It'll be a base hit for Joey Bart. He is no threat to run, so he will hold. Connor Joe up again. Bunting a D, hit and run C. And if you miss the hit and run and he has to steal, good luck. So just going to play it out and see what happens. 5-5. Right-hander is a ground ball shortstop X. That's Kim. Kim is a 2E16. 2-18. This could be a double play again. 2 and the 18 is definitely a G1. That's a 6, and he is an E16. There is no 6, so it will be a 6-4-3 double play once again. And that's the 3rd double play that Pittsburgh has hit into. They hit into a double play in the 2nd, the 4th, and now the 5th. So they're snake bit with these double plays. But Waldron is loving it. So 2 quick outs after the leadoff single, and here's Jack Zawinski. 2-11, and that's a ballpark single, 1-16, but that's an 18, so he's going to line it to 2nd, and that's going to end up finishing off the Pirates here in the 5th. So we go to the 6th, it's still 1-0. I was expecting more runs than this, but never know how the dice are going to turn out. Perez only gave up a single in his fatigue inning, so he's still good to go for at least one more inning. And Campusano will lead off. 6-7, and that's a 1-6 double, or 1-5 double. That's a 4. It'll be a double for Campusano, a leadoff double. And now we'll keep an eye on Perez. Pirates may have to go to their bullpen earlier than they expected. Here's Hassan Kim. 6-8, and that's a ground ball shortstop A, so that'll freeze the runner at 2nd base. 1 away, and back to the top of the order for Bogaerts. That's a 5-3, and it's a fly ball left field X. We are looking at Reynolds. He's a 4-E-2. 4 and a 6. That could drop. In fact, I think it will. Almost sure it will. 4 and a 6 is an SI2. That'll tie the game. So Campusano will come in to score on the single from Xander Bogaerts. That's a, boy, we got a little thing here. We'll call it a 7. And let's see, he is an E2. I don't think there's any problem there. No, it's not. So it's a single for Bogaerts, and the ball game is tied at 1 apiece. Bogaerts with a chance to get the lead needs a 4 or a 5. Does not get the lead. He holds. Here's Jurickson Profar. 3-9 for Profar. It's the lefties, a ground ball to second, and that will end the inning. Padres tie the ball game, and that may be all for Perez. In fact, it will be. Pretty sure. Well, I don't know. I won't make that decision yet, but there are 3 good right-handed hitters coming up, so I'm pretty sure that's going to be it for Perez. But we'll wait and see what happens in the bottom of the 6th, see if that changes my mind any. Right now we go to the bottom of the 6th with the score tied, and leadoff man O'Neill Cruz. 4-8, and that's a leadoff walk. Boy, that's a bad sign. This is Waldron's fatigue inning. But walking that leadoff hitter, really, really a tough thing to do here. All right, hold on. What did I do? I did something on the computer that wasn't right, so let me fix this. Let's see here. Wait a minute, that was just the second out. Okay, that's what it was. There were only 2 outs. That's what threw me off. For some reason, I was thinking there were 3 outs. There were only 2 outs. So Bogaerts goes to second on the ground ball C. So Perez has not finished his time yet. I was wondering why the computer was telling me Fernando Tatis was at the plate. It just didn't make any sense, but now it does. All right, so Bogaerts is at second. Clutch situation for Tatis against Perez. 4-8, and that is a strikeout. He has not reached fatigue yet, so the strikeout is good. And now we can close the book on Perez. That's going to be it for Perez. He's going to go 6 innings. He was right on the border of fatigue, so we're not going to push it. He will get 6 strikeouts. He's going to give up 4 hits and a run. And I don't believe he walked anyone. No, he did not. All right, so Perez can win it if the Pirates can pick up a run in the bottom of the 6th. I got to erase this walk to O'Neill Cruz because that was done prematurely. So Cruz will actually lead off the inning now against Waldron. It is the fatigue inning for Waldron. Cruz is 0 for 2. Slow night, but I realize that going against the Reds and Dodgers game is probably not going to be a hefty turnout, which is okay. That's fine. I don't mind. I just like playing the game. 2-8 is a single. That's a leadoff single for O'Neill Cruz. He'll be looking to run. He needs a 7 to get the lead. Does not get it. He will hold. Here's McCutchen. 2-4, and that's a ballpark single check. 1-13. That's a 17, though, so it will be a fly to left for out number 1. 1 down for Brian Reynolds. He's 1 for 2 with a double. 1-10, and that's a base on balls. So Waldron with another walk, and that'll be his 3rd walk of the game. Puts runners at first and second with 1 out, and cleanup man Rowdy Tellez at the plate. One more base. That's a 1. His wild pitch rating is a 7, and he uncorks the wild pitch. That's going to put runners in scoring position. 2nd and 3rd takes a double play out of the equation. big wild pitch. It's going to bring the infield in. And the Padre bullpen is already starting to stir as well. One more base runner, and Waldron will be fatigued. But now the infield is in against Rowdy Tellez. It's 1-8, and that is a strikeout. So a big strikeout there for Waldron. And now with 2 outs, he's got a chance to get out of the inning if he can keep Brian Hayes. That's a 2, chance for a balk or pass ball. We're looking at the pass ball rate of Campusano, which is a 2. No pass ball. So here's the pitch to Hayes. 2-5, and that's a 1 for a single, but that's going to be a line out to third, and Waldron escapes further damage. I think that's going to be all for Waldron as well. So both starters are going to go 6 innings. But you can tell Waldron was starting to fade a little bit. He escapes that inning. Both pitchers come out with no decisions. 5 hits and a run given up by Waldron. He walked 3, and he struck out. Looks like struck out 3 also. 1, 2, 3. Yep, walked 3, struck out 3. So we go to the top of the 7th, and the Pirates will need a new pitcher. So we'll go to the Strat computer, and the Strat computer will let me know who needs the work and who needs not to be overworked. So let's check on Holderman. He has pitched 5 innings. Stratton has gone only 3 innings. So it looks like we're going to go with Hunter Stratton. Hunter Stratton will come on for the Pirates to pitch the top of the 7th. Real world, he was 2-1 with a 3.58 ERA and a save. Hunter Stratton. He'll be facing 3 right-handed hitters in Machado, Solano. Well, 2 right-handers, Machado, Solano, and then Cronenworth, the lefty. Stratton, 6-6, and that's a strikeout. So he strikes out Machado to start his outing. 1 away for Donovan Solano. 1-8, and he's going to fly to right field. That's 2 down. And that takes us to Cronenworth. I imagine by the time I finish this game, the Dodger-Red game will probably be like in the 4th inning or something. So you're not going to miss a whole lot. 2-5, and that's going to be a strikeout for Cronenworth. So Hunter Stratton goes 1 inning. Strikes out 2 of the 3 he faces. Remember, this is 2024. They're all 1-inning pitchers, basically. So that's the way I'm going to manage it. And we're going to the 7th inning stretch with the score tied at 1, and San Diego will need a pitcher. See who they're going to bring up. Coming up for the Pirates, the lone representative of the Pittsburgh runs, Nick Gonzalez, will lead off, followed by Bart and Joe. So we're looking at 3 righties. So we go to the San Diego bullpen. See who they have that could be brought in. See, Avila's gone 6 innings, so I definitely don't want to use him yet. I don't want to overuse him. What about Brito? He's gone 3 innings. Could be Brito. We could be looking at Brito or De Los Santos. We're going to bring in De Los Santos. So we are looking at, and I don't even know his first name. It's just got E on the card. So it's E. De Los Santos. Sure he has a first name somewhere, but so we can pull up his whole card on the computer and see if it gives him a name. Enyel, E-N-Y-E-L, Enyel De Los Santos. Okay, we'll go with it. Enyel De Los Santos. He will be on. In the real season, he was 1-2 with a 4.46 ERA and a save. So far in the Demolition League, he has pitched 1 inning, given up 1 run with an ERA of 9. 2 hits, no walks, and a strikeout, no win-loss record, no save. Right-hander to Gonzalez, 6'3". It's a ground ball pitcher X. He is a 2.36 for De Los Santos. 2-19 is good, but the E36 could be questionable. That's a 10. Usually, though, there's not many errors on 10s. But there is here on the E36. The 10 is right there. So De Los Santos boots it. And Gonzalez will reach on the E1. Gonzalez, let's see, De Los Santos has a -3 hold to go with, so he's a -2 composite hold. So if Gonzalez wanted to get the lead, it would be a 1-11. We'll see if he can. Let's see who's up next. Joey Bart, he can't bunt and he can't hit and run. So we're going to have Gonzalez try to get a lead. 2 through 5 or a 12. Cannot get the lead, so he'll hold. Here's Bart. 2-4 for Bart. He's hit by the pitch. So not a good start for De Los Santos. He boots the ball. And then he adds insult to injury by hitting the next batter. So I'll bring up Connor Joe. And it looks like Padres swiftly have more action in the bullpen because De Los Santos doesn't seem to be doing too well. Johnny Brito loosely in the bullpen, but De Los Santos has to face 3 batters. So he has to face Connor Joe before he can do anything else. .27, and that's a walk. So he's going to, boy, talk about a bad outing for De Los Santos. Boots the ball for an error, hits a batter, now walks a batter. The bases are loaded for Jack Suwinski. And I tell you, with a couple of lefties coming up, I think the Padres are going to a lefty, not Brito, but to a lefty. That's going to be all for De Los Santos. They don't want to deal with him. He couldn't get anybody out. Walks a batter, hits a batter, and responsible for all runners on base. So it's either going to be Peralta or Matsui. Let's see who. I don't want to overwork one of them. I want to make sure I give them equal time here. Matsui, 3 innings for him. And Peralta, where are you? Peralta. Both of them have 3 innings. All right. Real world, Peralta went 38 innings and Matsui went 63. So it looks like it's going to be Matsui. Yuki Matsui will come on for the Padres. He's a -3, which makes him a -2. But he's got to inherit a bases loaded, nobody out situation, does Matsui. On the replay in the Demolition League, Matsui is 1-0 with no saves, an ERA of 9. He's gone 3 innings, given up 3 runs, 5 hits, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. Facing lefty Jack Suwinski, but they're going to pinch hit for Jack Suwinski. So Pittsburgh's going to see what, going to call San Diego and raise them, and they're going to have a pinch hitter, and the pinch hitter will be, even though they don't have a whole lot on the bench, to be quite honest, it will be Edward Olivares, and then Michael Taylor will come in and play center field. But Michael Taylor only hits 193, so you're not going to pinch hit with him. But we'll pinch hit with Edward Olivares. Don't know anything about him either. And then in the 8th inning, Michael Taylor will play center field. All right, so Edward Olivares, the pinch hitter, being called in to replace Suwinski. See what Olivares has done on the replay. He is hitting 105 in 19 at bats. Does have a homer. That's his, and run batted in at 224 real world. Pirate bench was not very good, so there wasn't a whole lot to choose from, to be quite honest. Padres are going to play the infield in. 6-8. Make sure that's not an injury chance on Matsui. On a 6-8. San Diego Matsui is a 6-12, so no injury chance there. So 6-8. Ground ball, second base X with the infield in. Second baseman is Bogarts. He's a 3. 3 and a 12. So we'll go 3 and a 12. 3 and a 12 is a G2. That's a 9. And he is an E12. There is no 9. So it's a G2 with the bases loaded and the infield in. Bases loaded, infield in, leader. So I'm assuming that means you get the lead. Batter safe, lead runners out. Okay, so Bogarts will throw home to get Gonzalez at the plate, 4-2 for the fielder's choice. It was a forced play, so no tag needed. And the other runners will move up 90 feet. But it will be a fielder's choice. Four to 2. And had he played back, it would have been the out would have been at second base and a run would have scored. So they kind of had to play in there. So now O'Neill Cruz is up. Lefty on lefty. Infield's still going to play in. Cruz is not a guy they think they can double up very often. So infield's still in for the Padres. 6-4. It's a fly ball center field X. That is Merrill. He's a 2E3. Even if he gets to this, it could be a sacrifice fly. But with a 1, double die showing up as a 1, it's going to be more than that. It's going to clear the bases. That should be a double 3 stars. Actually, it's a double 2 stars. Okay. Double 2 stars. So Bart and Joe will both score. Those runs are charged to De Los Santos. The pinch hitter, Olivares, goes to third. And O'Neill Cruz with a single. That's a 10. I don't think there's any error there to worry about for the outfielder Merrill. He's an E3. There is no 10 error there. So it will be a single 2 stars. And the Pirates take a 3-1 lead on the single by O'Neill Cruz. 2-run single. And that'll bring up Andrew McCutchen, 1 out and runners on the corners. Infield still in. 4-8. That's a strikeout and a much needed one for Matsui. Out number 2, and now it's got to get Brian Reynolds. Infield will go back to normal. Or Brian Reynolds. In the 8th inning, we will see Bednar. 6-5. Switch hitter batting right-handed. That's a strikeout there as well. So Matsui gets out of it without any further damage except for that 2-run single. Those 2 runs are charged to De Los Santos. Matsui goes 1 inning. He is going to give up 1 hit to allow those 2 inherited runners to score. He did strike out 2. But we go to the 8th inning. It is 3-1 Pittsburgh now. And coming in to pitch for the Pirates, coming to play center field is Michael Taylor. And coming in to pitch for the Pirates will be Mr. Bednar. 3-8, 5.77 ERA, and 23 saves in 2024. Of course, he is the current closer of the Yankees. And he got the save tonight in the real world wild card game. So we'll bring in Taylor on the computer. We have to bring Taylor in to play center field, where he's much better than what Zawinski was defensively. And then Bednar will come on and pitch. Stratton now is the pitcher record to get the win if the Pirates can hold it. Bednar has had a rough Demolition League game, to say the least. He's gone 3 innings, given up 6 hits, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, but he's 0-1 with an ERA of 16.88. So he's had some troubles there. And he'll be facing Merrill, Campusano, and Kim, although the Padres could go to the bench for Campusano. Here's Merrill. 5-7, left-handed. That's a fly to left, one away. And let's see, Campusano actually hitting 250. So they're going to actually stick with him. 3-2. Oops, I got to move Jackson Merrill. 3-2 is a ground ball to short. That's out number 2. And that'll take us to Hassan Kim. Bednar looking for the hold. Hello, Dr. D. That's a 5-10, and that's a fly to right. So Bednar, a 1-2-3 inning for Mr. Bednar. He will set it up for Aroldis Chapman in the 9th. It's 3-1 Pittsburgh. Padres will need a new pitcher. And let's see who they will go to. Now they're going to go to Johnny Brito, right-hander. +4, so that makes him a +5. That's not good as far as hold goes. Bottom of the 8th, 3-1 Pittsburgh. The big 2-run single from O'Neill Cruz last inning is the difference in this game. So we go to Brito and bring him in on the computer and see what he's doing on the replay. He is 0-0 with no saves. In 3 innings pitched, 6 hits, no walks, 3 strikeouts, a 5.40 earned run average. And leading things off will be Rowdy Tellez of the Pirates. 2-8 for Tellez, and that's a 1-8 home run. That's a 6. Rowdy Tellez greets Johnny Brito and goes downtown with his first home run of the season. RBI number 2. But the home run for Rowdy Tellez. He hit 13 home runs real world. Does it right here on the 2-8. The 1-8's a homer. That's a 6. So Tellez greets Brito. It's now a 4-1 game. And that brings up Key Brian Hayes. 1-6. That's a ground ball to short. Taken by Kim. 1 away. Chapman. They gave Chapman an extra run to work with in the 9th. Here is Gonzalez. 6-11. Now I got to check Brito, make sure there's no injury after I check the play. 6-11, ground ball to short, so that's not going to be an issue there. As once again, Kim makes the play. But now Brito. Let's see if Brito is susceptible to injury. He is in the extra pitchers. So Brito is a 1, which means a 6-12 is his injury chance. So he will avoid injury. And that will send up Joey Bart, the catcher. 6-9. Again, 6-12 is the injury. 6-9 is a ball to third. So that's going to do it. But the home run off the bat of Rowdy Tellez gives the Pirates that insurance run they were looking for. We go to the top of the 9th here in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh 4, San Diego 1. And coming on to try to close the deal is Aroldis Chapman. Chapman for Pittsburgh in 2024 was 5-5 with a 3.79 ERA and 14 saves. We'll see what he's doing on the replay. He'll be facing the top of the order, Bogarts, Profar, and Tatis. So I don't think there'll be any pinch hitting for either of those guys. We'll go to the computer for Mr. Chapman. See what he's done on the replay. On the replay, Aroldis Chapman is 0-0 with 2 saves, a 4.50 earned run average. He's pitched 4 innings, given up 3 hits, 4 walks, and 4 strikeouts. So Bogarts will lead it off. It's a 1-8 against the lefty. He's going to ground to short. That's 1 away. Pirate win would put them at 3-5 and drop the Padres to 5-3. Jerks and Profar. 3-11 against the lefty is a ground ball to third. So easy play for Key Brian Hayes. And the Padres down to their final out. and it's Fernando Tatis. 410, and that's going to be a catcher X. That'll be Bart. He's a 3E7. Whoa, we got a hop and dice. Let's re-roll that. 3E7. 3 and a 10. But nobody's on base, so there can't be any pass balls or wild pitches. 3 and a 10 should be a foul out or something like that. PF should be a foul out. So that's an 8. So assuming there's no error, E7, and there's no 8, so it will be a foul out to Bart, and there's your ball game. Pittsburgh Pirates defeat the San Diego Padres by the score of 4-1. And we'll go to the box score and get the totals. For the Pirates, 4 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. For the Padres, 1 run, 4 hits, and 1 error. Losing pitcher is De Los Santos. He drops to 0-1. The winning pitcher is Stratton. He improves to 1-0. And the save to Chapman, and that will be his 3rd save. So he has saved all 3 Pittsburgh victories, Pittsburgh 3 and 5, and Chapman saved all 3 of them. So in the 9th for Chapman, 1 inning and gave up nothing. So there you go. Game 40 is in the books. We'll turn the page on this score sheet, and I'll look on the computer and see who the next game is. On this Demolition League for tomorrow night. Right after the Yankee. I'll probably come on right after the Yankee Boston game. So let's go to the computer and look at the schedule. And we are showing next game up is going to be the Chicago Cubs and the Minnesota Twins from Target Field. And as we look at the standings for those 2 teams, Twins are 6-1. Wait a minute, I think I already played that game. I don't think I put it in the computer, but I remember playing that game. Let me double check my score sheets. I seem to remember playing that game. I'm almost positive I did. Or maybe I was just thinking about playing it and never did. I thought for sure I did, though. Here we go, 39. Yeah, I did play that game. I never put it in the computer for whatever reason. So it won't be Chicago and Minnesota. I take that back. That game was played a couple games back, and I just never put it in the computer. So I need to put this in the computer. I would drop Minnesota to 6-2 and make Chicago 3-5 once that's all said and done. So that won't be the game. It will actually be, I'm assuming it will actually be, yeah, there we go, Toronto and Kansas City. I had it all set up already on the back page of the Minnesota-Chicago one. So I actually had this as game 40 instead of the Pittsburgh game. So we'll just change the page to 41. So that's what the next game will be tomorrow night. It'll be Kikuchi against Michael Wacha. Kikuchi for Toronto, Michael Wacha for Kansas City. Both teams are 4-3, and they'll be playing their 8th game against each other in game number 41. So I do appreciate those of you who chimed in and stepped in and took a look. I know, like I said, it's kind of hard to go against real baseball in the playoffs, but you know, when else are you going to stream, because they're playing playoff games all day long. So there's really, except for when I play my 87 replay in the morning, there's really no other time where there's not a game going on. So just have to kind of just put it out there and people can catch the replay or whatever. So anyway, and it's, like I said, I'm still learning more about these players. So I'm hoping what all this is going to do is when the 25 Demolition League comes along, I will be better prepared and feel like I'm ready to go and learn about, you know, and I'll have certain knowledge of these players and teams, and that hopefully will help me out for the 25. Whatever 10 teams are chosen, whether it's random, whether I pick them, whether I put them for a vote, I haven't decided any of that yet. It's way down the road. We're talking, you know, March of 2026 before that happens. So anyway, as I said, I do appreciate you all being here for this and chiming in. If you are available to watch it tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, it will be the 1987 American League replay. We'll be back at it. Yankees in California. From California, Tommy John against Jack Lazorko. And then on Friday morning in the 87 replay, it'll be Toronto against Seattle with Jimmy Key against Mike Morgan in that one. Jimmy Key on the 1987 replay is 9-0 with a sub-2 ERA. So he's definitely the pitcher of the year. If it an all-star game, he'd be the all-star pitcher, that's for sure. And I might do an all-star game just based on the replay stats, not the real 87 all-star game, but just maybe an all-star game chosen on the replay stats for the American League and play them against the real National League team. That's a possibility. I may do that. I don't know. Haven't decided yet. But anyway, that's good to go from here. I gotta go check on Tabby, see how she's doing, make sure she's okay, make sure she's got food and everything else. And so tomorrow morning, Yankees in California. Tomorrow night, after the Yankee Red Sox Game 3, we'll be in Kansas City for the Demolition League, Toronto at Kansas City. You can see I have not done the lineups yet. I've got to do I need to do rest rolls and all that stuff and get all that filled in. I do have the pitchers, but that's about it. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road. All right.